Hey friends, welcome. I wanted to share a little bit more about what we're going to embark on. You may have noticed these invitations come out for me to join us for this brand new course, the Yoga of Astrology. Now, what do yoga and astrology have to do with each other? Well, quite a bit, but the most important emphasis of this work is you. This is another deep dive into who you are and why you're here. It's about your purpose, getting clarity on your life path. Now, sometimes we talk about these things like destiny and life path and mission. We're just so caught up in the day to day that just feels like a bunch of stuff that's, out there. Let's put it that way. It just feels like out there. I just need to deal with the day to day. I need my life to get a little more smoother. I need, better interactions in my relationships. I need better interactions with my coworkers. I need less stress in my life. I need more energy. Whatever it is that's happening in your life, there are, in yoga, we say chakra imbalances that can help you overcome these issues that keep showing up again and again and again. And where things get interesting when you're looking at yoga and astrology is knowing that there's this correlation between what's happening in the chakra system and the evolution of our consciousness in the planetary system and the solar system. So we have this infinite amount of energy that we could be working with, and yet we limit ourselves. And we often, we often go into these spaces where it's, we feel alone or isolated in what's happening for us. And this is an opportunity as well to reach out as a community and to work together and say, you're not alone. And you, just like just about everybody else in this community, I mean, you're a very interesting bunch. You are the go-getters. You are the goal setters. You're the high achievers. And unfortunately, that often comes with being the workaholic or the martyr, possibly the people pleaser, and the ones most prone to suffer from burnout. So it's time to learn how to take advantage of this incredible amount of energy that's available to you. And for years, I've been working with this energy, with this Kundalini energy. And now we're taking it a step farther. We're adding, a whole other layer to this process and understanding that it's not just your own inner energy. There's this whole planetary energy, this universal energy around us that we can be tapping into. So we want to maximize on everything that's available to us. And it all begins with self-awareness. And that's why the discipline of yoga is so essential to this work. So those of you who joined my recent webinar, I told you a little bit or shared a little bit about what astrology can give you and what yoga gives you. So I'm just going to recap that tiny little bit for you. Now, by looking at your chart, you can certainly learn a lot about yourself. In fact, you could see what your destiny is, what your life purpose is. You can see about your core essence, your core self, your strengths, your weaknesses, what's blocking you on your path, and what you need to feel emotionally fulfilled. It's all there, or so the astrologers tell us. These very same things can become very evident to you through the practice, through the dedicated practice of Kundalini Yoga. If you dedicate to the practice, this is how you start to experience this awakening that makes all of that very obvious to you. You will understand your strengths, your weaknesses, how you're blocking your own path, and what that path actually is. You realign with your authentic self, and you start living to your highest potential. And basically, life gets a whole lot less stressful and a whole lot more interesting and enjoyable, and it deepens your relationships, and it brings back your vitality, and so much more. So if I'm telling you that you can get all of this information from astrology, then why bother doing the hard work of Kundalini Yoga? You can get a lot of information from your chart. It will show you a lot of key indicators that are relevant to your life. What it won't give you is the discipline that you need to see things through, to take the energy you need to take action, the courage to do the work, to take chances, to take risks, to try something new, to make a change. That's where we get stuck. We know we need change. We know we need to make proactive changes in our lives. We can feel it in those, in those uncomfortable areas in our life. You know when something's not working quite right in your relationship, or, maybe you're thinking about, classic example. You know you need to make a change in your work life and something holds you back. Deep down, something has to change. It's affecting your health. It's creating a lot of stress. It's just not working. And when we don't take the proactive steps to take change, very often, if we're not aligned, we know we're not aligned with what's happening at work because it's affecting us. It's affecting our health. It's affecting our vitality. It's affecting our mental well-being. If we don't take the necessary steps, then it happens for us. Something happens. We get laid off. Our company downsizes, merges. We become redundant. So it's a whole lot better position to be in if you become proactive about the changes that you need to make in your life. So astrology shows us all this stuff, and we can learn all the same stuff through a dedicated Kundalini practice. However, sometimes life is just so stressful that even if we know on some level that we're on the right path, when we're feeling overwhelmed, we may doubt ourselves, and we might want that little bit of encouragement that we might get by having a look over at our astrology chart and sort of validating in a way that we are on track. And that's why the two work so beautifully together. There are many reasons why yoga and astrology work so beautifully together, and I'm going to detail all of that for you in the course. Not just talk to you about it, but help you embody this work so that you start to literally feel the energy of the planets within you. Okay, whether that means, and when I say that, when we think of a planet like Venus, when we want to talk about love and relationship, really embodying what that means to feel so filled up with love, or if we want that fiery, passionate energy of, the self-starter, energy of Mars, that we have that fire in us, to know what that feels like, to have that burning fire in the belly, that fire of initiative and action, right? Or to be able to tap into the intuitive side of the moon, to feel that energy within us. So this is the journey that we're going on, and we're going to go on this journey together using Kundalini Yoga and exploring these concepts of astrology that can give us that little bit of inspiration when we need it. And, it's the other thing I want to say is, even if you could look at your chart to validate everything you're doing, to know you're on the right path, to recognize your strengths, to know your weaknesses, even if it's all spelled out there for you, if you don't come to those answers from within yourself, it's never going to feel real for you. And that's another reason to really dedicate to a disciplined practice of yoga. So that if you're glancing over your chart and you get these indications of what you should be doing, how you could make your life work a little bit better, you'll be able to put that up against something. You'll be able to know, because you're doing all this work yourself through your yoga and meditation practices, all this increased self-awareness, to know that, does what I see in my chart feel right and true for me? And again, that's why those two worlds coming together is so powerful. So I hope you'll consider joining us for the journey. Enrollment is open until May 24th. And all of the coursework is pre-recorded. So as I mentioned, a lot of the people in my community, if I dare I say every single one, is that go-getter, that A-type, that person that wants to, do it all and do it all perfectly. And I recognize that you are the ones that are prone to burnout, which means it is even more essential for you to do this type of work. But it's also why I've pre-recorded the work so that it can be released to you every few days at a very reasonable pace. You'll receive a class every 3 days in this course. And it's all pre-recorded, so you can do it any time of day that it fits in with your schedule, and you will have lifetime access. So please check out the link. I do hope you're going to join us. We've had an overwhelming response already, and I'm super excited to begin this journey with you. And last thing before I let you go, already you probably have a sense of whether or not this is right for you. So if you're getting that feeling, that pull towards this, seriously consider joining sooner rather than later, because if you know, and we always know what's right for us when we are that person dedicated to our inner work. We don't have to live in this place of confusion and this constantly wasting energy just trying to make a decision. Does it feel right? Does this feel like a journey that you want to go on? Do you want to engage in a community that is, that gets excited about these concepts that are really about living life to your fullest, but with real tools to help you completely feel different from the get-go, right from the very first class, so that you can see that your energy can change immediately. So this is the kind of dynamic change that we work on, and we work together with dynamic conversation, getting together to uplift each other. So if you already know, don't wait for the last minute. It just creates more chaos and confusion. In the last minute, you'll be looking for the link to get into the course platform, and you won't have engaged yet with the community. You can get in right now, settle into the course, have a look around, reach out, start a conversation with the community, and begin preparing mentally, physically, emotionally for the changes that you're about to embark on, because it is impossible to do this work and not experience significant life change. So by saying yes sooner, the work is already starting. You're starting to create that mental, physical, emotional space, that inner preparation for all the good that is about to come to you. So I hope you'll join us. Please check out the link.